So welcome everyone to the eMedica AKT Pass Guarantee Program orientation session for the 90-day program for the April 2023 AKT exam. So let me explain how the format is for today. Really, today's a chance for you to meet the team, have a clear idea how does the program work. We'll show you through the first couple of emails so you see exactly how to use them, how to navigate everything, how to submit your work, how to access your resources page and what will go on there. And then there'll be a chance for you to ask any questions that you'd like. So use the chat as you've been doing to get involved in the discussion. If you've got any comments, if you've got any questions that you'd like myself or the team to answer, please use the Q&A to ask those questions. And I'll introduce you to the team shortly. I want to start with this message, which was in your welcome pack, for those that have already received it, that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. It's a very famous saying from Lao Tzu. And that's really, really important because the journey to preparing for and passing your AKT can seem like a really big one, can be overwhelming because the curriculum's so large, okay? And just remember that you've taken a huge, big first step by joining a structured program like this. And I want to thank you for joining the program and putting your trust in our team to help you. And we're going to be with you every step of the way. But, once you take that first step, you don't need to worry about the destination. Just focus on one step at a time. By the end of the program, and like today we're having orientation, tomorrow evening is our last webinar for the January cohort because their exam's the day after, right? Okay. So like you're not even at the first step here because we're starting in a few days, right? But, just by focusing on one step at a time, they're at the top of the mountain now. They're going to look back and, we will have covered over 4,000 questions by the end of the program, all right? We will have had, hours and hours of live teaching sessions. So it's really big step to take that first step because now you've got a clear plan. Okay, so well done and thank you for joining us. So let me introduce you to the team. So for those that haven't met me before, my name is Muhibbur Rahman. I'm a portfolio GP and the medical director of eMedica. I did my own GP training in Neath Port Talbot in South Wales. I passed my MRCGP with merit back in 2007 and I got FRCGP in 2019 for my work in medical education, promoting GP careers and my humanitarian medical work. I'm one of the authors for the Prescribing Safety Assessment, and I've also written various books, articles, mock exam questions for the MRCGP, AKT, CSA, RCA, workplace-based assessment, and so on. I was an examiner for the GMC between 2017 and 2020, and an invigilator in my last year with the GMC, and I continue to be an examiner for OSCE examinations for Liverpool Medical School. My clinical roles, I'm a partner in my own practice and I work in a secure unit for women with significant mental health illness and in community detox. Let me introduce you to the rest of the team. So Masuda Rahman is Director of E-Learning at eMedica. She'll be part of the faculty at the courses and webinars and the masterclasses. So you'll see Masuda and she'll be involved in helping formulate some of the questions. She'll deal with some of your queries along the way and deal with queries on the this evening as well as at the talk sessions. So Masuda, do you want to say hello?
Welcome everybody. Welcome to the Pass Guarantee Program. We are going to be spending a lot of time together over the next 3 months. So you're going to be surprised how quickly we will become part of your daily routine and how quickly those good study habits are going to, and your knowledge base are going to grow. Now, we may not be seeing you face to face, but we will be seeing your work come in every day. We're going to be seeing you online for the webinars. We're always surprised how well we feel we get to know you and how quickly we get attached to each new class. Really just to say, it may not be easy. Learning takes effort and it is hard. Please remember that you're not going to be alone for any of it. We're here to support you. So please get involved in your study group, ask questions on the webinars, email us. That's what we're here for. We're going to be watching your progress every day, right up into the exam. We're going to be thinking of you on the day of the exam. We're going to be waiting with you on the edge of our seats for those results. Whatever happens, we're here.
Thanks very much, Masuda. And introduce you now to Anna Greathead, who's another core member of the eMedica e-learning team and a learning mentor for our MRCGP courses. She's, again, part of the faculty for course and webinars, and she'd be the main admin for the WhatsApp group for your cohort. So I'll hand you over to Anna.
Hello, echoing Masuda, welcome to the group and welcome to this cohort. We're looking forward to working alongside you. I've been mentoring this program now for many cohorts, and if I could offer you just 3 pieces of advice as you begin. First being, commit to this program. This advice is based not only on my observations, but on the fact that we've had many cohorts feeding back to us things they wish they knew at the beginning. And the first thing is, you've got to commit to this program. This program is intensive, it's effective, but it's intensive, and you do need to work hard. And if you start letting things falling behind, it's really, really difficult to commit. So right now, I think, right, I'm going to prioritize keeping up with this work, because it will make all the difference as you get into those really good habits and do that really good learning. And the second thing is to be as organized as you can. It's amazing how much time people waste, thinking, oh, I know there was a link to that really useful resource, or I know I saw that really helpful thing. I read that thing. What webinar was Dr. Rahman mentioned that in? Get organized so that all of that stuff is at the tip of your fingers. Save your emails in a special folder, make notes, do all of that sort of thing so that you don't waste time searching for things which you've already looked at. And finally, and this is most important, trust the process. At the beginning of this program, you're going to be exposed to all sorts of things that you don't know. So you're learning them. So you don't know it. Your scores might not be super high, but you are learning all the time. And every time you get a question wrong, don't think of it as a failure. Think of it as an opportunity to expand your knowledge base and to, get closer and closer to knowing everything you need to know to do well in this exam. Looking forward to getting to know you all and working with you. And yeah, it's going to be great. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Anna. Okay, and if I can introduce you now to Dr. Kennedy Umej, who's our AKT mentor. He completed the Pass Guarantee program in one of the earlier cohorts. So he was doing exactly what you're doing now. And he scored 95% overall in the AKT, one of the highest scores ever. And, since going through the program, he found it helpful. He committed to it. And he's come on board and been working with us since then as a mentor. And predominantly, he offers support via the WhatsApp group for your cohort. And you'll get details and a link to join that WhatsApp group in the welcome email that will come the day before the program starts. Don't worry, that will come to you. I'll hand you over to Kennedy. Nice to see you, Kennedy.
Hello, nice to see you. I just want to welcome all of you to this cohort of the Pass Guarantee program. And just like Dr. Rahman said, I was once in your shoe. Starting off, join the program just for a structured study program that could, if I could focus on, I will cover all the curriculum, and then I could have time to get other sources of knowledge to, keep going. And he exactly did what he promised. You will cover all the curriculum. If you remain focused, you'll be prepared and you'll be ready. And the fear of the AKT will totally, go away. Before I joined the program, I had lots of stories about, about AKT, how difficult it was. So I came into the program with a lot of anxiety. Not only that, I also had an IMGs, had low success rate in the AKT. So obviously, if you're hearing my accent, I'm an IMG as well. And all that coupled to build up a lot of anxiety, which I believe most IMGs are still facing today in the AKT. Looking at my score, you know that is not the issue. The issue is about your level of preparation. Keep yourself focused on this program. Make it a point of duty from today to just make sure that you're not allowing your tasks to pile up, allowing your daily tasks to pile up, because that is usually where the anxiety begins to set in. You will think you're not meeting up, your mates are ahead of you. And again, I want to advise, you will need to make some sacrifices to achieve the success you need. You will not be able to keep up with your Netflix, your social media during this preparation if you expect to achieve the excellent result you need. Know what you need to achieve, know the scores you want to achieve, and go for it. I will be there in the WhatsApp forum to share my exam preparation techniques with you to help you address clinical questions that you have found difficult to address. I will be there to do that. And I will meet you up in the WhatsApp forum.
Thanks very much, Kennedy. Okay, great. So I'll also introduce you to other members of the team who you won't see at the webinars, but we're all one big team. They say that teamwork makes the dream work. And, we have a wonderful team that makes all of the bits go together. And you already might have received correspondence from some of our members of the team. You know, sometimes when you send in a query via email, someone else in the team will deal with it. After each of the live sessions, you know, we process the recording. Someone in the team will process that, prepare it so that you can access it later. So you may receive things from Selina Begum, Tuba Jamil, Jubaida Khatun, Rabia Hussein, Mariam Bint Mu'min. These are all other core members of our eMedica team. Okay, so let me explain how the program works. You've joined the 90-day program. So what's going to happen is every single day, about 5 o'clock in the morning, you'll get an email from us. And within that email, there'll be a series of tasks. Okay, so there'll be a question of the day. And once you've done that question, you've also got some reading linked to that. There'll be links to online revision questions. On weekdays, you'll usually do one set of online questions. So that'll be about 20 questions. On weekends, there'll usually be 2. Okay. As we get closer to the end of the program, the last 30 days, things will intensify further. So you'll find some weekdays, you'll actually get 2 sets of questions or a longer set of questions. We might do mini mocks where you might be doing 50 questions or 60 questions rather than just 20. Okay. There'll be links to reading. So we use sources like the Oxford Handbook of General Practice, NICE CKS, and other nationally published and recognized guidelines. There'll be learning exercises that sometimes aren't for just one day, but they're spread over a week or slightly longer. And then there are weekly tasks. So sometimes these will involve watching videos and answering a quiz based on it to make sure you've understood it. Sometimes there'll be exercises where you're going to summarize topics, and to do that, you will have had to learn them yourself. Sometimes there'll be online revision questions that will be taken from other sources like RCGP Essential Knowledge Challenges or RCGP self-test questions, okay? So we'll expose you to learning through a variety of sources. There'll also be case cards, which are concise topic reviews for you to sort of start learning some different topics, okay? So I'll show you exactly how to do that. We'll work through it shortly. But just a couple of things. The first thing is the Oxford Handbook of General Practice. It must be the 5th edition. Some of you might already have got, you know, an old version from someone, like a 4th edition. So many guidelines have changed, even from the 5th edition. One of the things you'll find is sometimes you'll read something in the 5th edition, and then when you attend some of the live sessions, I'll teach you that some of the guidelines are different to what you've read. This is just a base. This was published, the 5th edition, in 2020. So there are some guidelines that changed in 21, 22, 23 even. We'll cover the latest things at the live session, so don't worry, but it's a useful base. So most people already have the 5th edition because people often buy this when they start ST1, okay? If you don't already have it, you've still got time to get it. Someone will post this link into the chat. You can order it from Amazon, get it next day. You can even get it on Kindle if you, I prefer to have paper things so I can highlight, but you know, it's also available on Kindle via the same link, okay? But it must be the 5th edition, all right? And then something that's really important, you know, Anna, Masuda, Kennedy all mentioned that it's intense. You know, you have to sacrifice. It's hard work, this program. That's because the exam is challenging. So therefore the workload has to be challenging. So one of the things you want to do is enjoy the little wins. All right. So what do I mean by that? Things like, you know, your daily progress tracker. This is on the back of, you know, there's a picture at the top of your welcome pack that has that quote about a journey of 1,000 miles. On the back of that is this progress tracker, right? So each day, when you've gone through your email and you've done the tasks, tick it. So you're satisfied that, you know, stick this on a notice board somewhere. You can see it, it's visual, okay? Okay, I've done day 1, right? Good, okay, I'm done day 2. When you get to the end of the week, you know what, first week, and I'm on track. When you get to the bottom of this line, you're like, you know what, you know, coming up to a quarter of the way there now, that's great. When you get here, you know what, I'm exactly halfway, fantastic. When you get here, I'm nearly done. I'm nearly a third of the way through now. And then once you get here and you see all of these ticked off, it's really satisfying. Similarly, the curriculum checklist, okay? So the curriculum checklist, we've sorted by curriculum area alphabetically. So there's clinical, alphabetical, that's several pages. There's 36 pages in total, okay? You know, that's, so you're not going to do the topics in this order. But whenever you've covered a topic, whether that's in reading, in doing questions, at a talk session, tick it off. So there's about 600 boxes to tick. So at the beginning, it's completely empty, right? No ticks at all. But, you know, you tick a thing here, you tick a thing here, you tick a thing here, you tick a thing here. The night before the exam, you'll look at this and you'll see everything's ticked. It's going to give you a huge amount of confidence going into the exam, knowing, you know what, I've covered all the key topics in the curriculum. I'm ready for this. It will just give you that real boost mentally seeing it tick. So again, it's one of those things, but, ticking out, like, it's going to take ages for you to tick all of cardiovascular, but, just ticking something, it's a little win. It's satisfying to physically tick it off. Okay. So I'd recommend that you do that. And then your resources page. One of the things that we've done is we've put together at the bottom of every email, there'll be this link to your resources page. Okay. And essentially, when you click that link, it takes you to your resources page. I'll just show you. Okay. So when you click that link, at the moment, your resource page will look like this. The video of this session today, the orientation, will appear here. There's no link to it at the moment, okay? But you'll be able to download your timetable. You've got a printed one in your welcome pack, but if you need to access it when you're not at home, you'll be able to download the curriculum guide, various other things here, okay? But you can see that there's nothing else here at the moment. What will happen is over time, after each live session, once we've processed the video, like the video for orientation will appear here. But once we've done the first live high yield webinar, that video will appear here. Then the second one will appear here. Then the full day course will appear. I'll just show you. By the end of the program, okay, so it's going to look like this. So you'll have the recording and the teaching slides from high yield webinar 1, then 2, then the full day course, then 3, then stats, then admin, high yield 1, high yield 2, so that you'll be able to watch them back at any point and as many times as you want after you've been to the live session. Okay. And especially a lot of people find this particularly helpful in the last few weeks before the exam to go over any bits that they wanted to revise again. They've already got the booklets and things like that, but it's all there in one place. It makes it easy to access, and you'll have all of your other resources. So that link is at the bottom of every single email. I'll actually show you one of the emails and work through it with you in a minute. Okay. So, but that's that resource page. Okay. So let me show you through how to complete your work each day and how to submit the weekly tasks. Your daily tasks submit automatically. So let me show you, okay? Just before I do that, just one thing. At the bottom of every email, it's part of good information governance is that we should offer you an easy way to unsubscribe if you want to. That's because some people will send people unwanted emails. And so if the email servers, the big email servers, Gmail, Microsoft email, Yahoo, NHS, if they see someone's getting emails and there isn't an unsubscribe link, you're making it difficult for people to unsubscribe. Sometimes they blacklist that email and then those emails don't get received. So we have to include a link as part of best practice to make it easy. So you see there's a link here and there's a link here, okay? This one and this one, click unsubscribe. Please do not unsubscribe unless you genuinely don't want to get emails from us anymore and want to leave the program, because that's essentially what you're going to do. If you do it once by mistake, email us, let us know as soon as possible. We'll add you back. But you see, if you do it multiple times, we may not be able to add you back because your email provider may blacklist. Because again, that's a practice that dodgy companies will do, is that someone's unsubscribed, they'll add them back in because they want to spam them. We don't ever spam anyone. We're not interested in sending people emails that they don't want, you see. So that's why that link is there. Just please be careful and don't click that, okay? So let me show you what the emails are going to look like, all right? So first one you're going to get a welcome email, which will come to you on Wednesday because we start on Thursday, okay? So essentially you can read through, it just says, how to use it. But this link at the moment doesn't work, but it will be a link to the video of this session in case you want to watch it back. This is the link you'll click to join the WhatsApp group. It will go live the day before, okay? This is some reading from the Oxford Handbook. There's specific pages from the paper version, 5th edition. So you can start doing some reading on topics before we start doing any questions, just to give some background, okay? And then at the bottom, there'll always be a reminder of the next live session. So the first live session where we actually start the teaching is on the 1st of February. And there's that link to the resources page, okay? Again, do not click this unless you want to leave the program. So you can see the welcome email, it just gives you a chance to join the WhatsApp group, watch the orientation session, and just do some reading before we start, okay? I'll show you the day one email. So the day one email, now, this is when it actually starts. So essentially what you do is just read through there, but you'll see a whole lot of links. Just work through from top to bottom. So look, the very first day, we've got an exercise for you. You're only going to do this on the first day. Okay, so what we'd like you to do, if you put your name and the email that you're using throughout the program, use the same email, please. We want you to think about 5 topics that you've always feared or found challenging or found difficult, and you need to be as specific as possible. Okay, i.e., there's no point putting ENT. You can't cover the whole of ENT in a day. Okay, whereas Meniere's disease you can cover in a day. All right, and once you've put all of these in, over the next few days, we're going to ask you to start reading up on them and making your own 1-page A4 topic review. There's examples of what topic reviews can look like on the resources page, okay, to give you some ideas, but it needs to be specific to you. What this does is it gets you to start learning some of the things that you already feared, okay? That's only going to be there on the first day. Again, there's a link on the orientation video in case you missed it. But then basically what you do is you click the first question. So there's a question of the day every day. Put in your email. So I'll put the eMedica email, just because if I don't put one, it won't allow me to submit. Read the question, okay? Select an answer. Whether you've got it right or wrong, there's an explanation to read. Once you've read that explanation, click through and read the relevant guidelines. So you're actually doing some reading specific to that topic. And then there's a link to the online questions. So you need to log in. I've already logged in, okay? I'm just going to start from the beginning, okay? So I've logged in. So you go through your questions. You can read the explanation. Now, if you get it right, it's probably enough for you to read this. If you get it wrong, you might want to read up about the topic from NICE CKS, from the Oxford Handbook, from any resource that you like, okay? But once you've gone through all of them, okay, and so once you get to question 20, so there'll be 20 questions, once you get to the last one, and you submit that last one, it will automatically send us your scores, okay? So you don't need to submit beyond completing the questions. So once you've done those, we automatically will get the scores. That's why it's important you put your name and your email so you can match it up. Because one of the things we're going to do, we're going to gather data from multiple points from the work that you do in the first half to 60% of the program, so that in the last third of the program, we can give each of you a tailored revision plan to target those areas that you need more support in. And then there's case cards. So you've got the physical case cards, just read the numbers. If you don't have the physical ones, you can click this link. Again, you need to log in. I've already logged in. You can access the digital one. So we're doing 1 and 2, okay? You've got the list of what they are here, but essentially you're going to read number 1 and number 2 and learn those, try to remember those topics, okay? And then can you see the weekly tasks will have a set deadline. So the daily tasks, you just do them, will automatically get the information, okay? When you're ready with your topic reviews, you've got a deadline of the 4th of February for that. So you don't have to do it immediately. You've got time to do it. A couple of days on each one, you're doing 5 topics, right? So by the 4th, you need to click submit and you'll actually upload. So again, you put your name and your email and you can upload the files that you've created. So either take a picture on your phone, if you've done it on a computer, you can make it into a PDF or a doc or even a PowerPoint file. It doesn't matter. Whatever's easy for you, we can access it. Then again, this is some reading to prepare you for the next set of stuff, okay? So that's that one done. And finally, if I just show you day 2 as the last one. So day 2, and then all of the rest onwards, they're not going to have a link back to the orientation video. By that stage, we're well into the program, okay? So you can see, do your question of the day, do your online revision, do your case cards. You've got a reminder and a link to submit your weekly tasks. You've got your reading. Now, this looks like a lot. That's because we're coming into a weekend. So it's preparing you for reading for a couple of days, okay? And so on. So that's how it all works, okay? So that's how to navigate and use and get through. Just a reminder, again, at the bottom of every email is this link. This is if you want to unsubscribe and leave. Please don't click it, okay? Now, I'm going to give you 3 keys to success. And then anyone that's got any questions, please feel free to use the Q&A. The team will start addressing those. Any that aren't picked up, I'll pick up at the end. But these are really, really important keys for you to succeed throughout the program and in your exam. The first is that mindset matters. Michael Corder said, to succeed, we must first believe that we can. This is really, really important. I understand a lot of you might have already had experience of AKT and not passed, okay? Some of you might not have sat it yet, but maybe you've joined a structured program because, you've heard from colleagues who've struggled, or just you want that structure, don't want to take any chances. But it's really important that from day one, you need to have in your mind, I'm going to smash this exam. I'm going to pass. I can pass and I will pass. I can succeed. This is really, really important, because if you start with that mentality, when you have some hard questions or where you don't do well in some of the mocks, just keep that in your mind and you'll say, okay, well, I didn't do as well as I wanted here. That's a learning opportunity. I'm going to overcome. I'm going to get there by the end. Okay. But that's really important, because if you start in your mind with, I'm going to fail, this exam is impossible, if you've already got a negative mindset, it impacts how you learn. You actually retain less information. There's studies on this. Okay. You're less likely to go the extra mile. When you're finding something difficult, you're more likely to just stop. So you need to start with this belief you're going to pass, because you are. Okay. The next is just reiterating what's already been said by the others, to be consistent. Make sure you do your daily tasks. Every daily task must be completed before you get the next email. So you've got 24 hours. That's really intense. Now, everyone's got their own different situation, responsibilities, and you need to find your own rhythm. Some people, for example, before they get to work, they get up a bit early and they like to do the daily tasks, the reading related to that, maybe the case card, and then that way they can leave for the evening when they get back from work, the online questions and the reading to prepare for the next session. Other people might do it the other way. They might, for example, think, okay, I want to get the online questions done first. They're done. And then I'll fit in maybe the case cards at lunchtime, maybe the question of the day if I get a gap, and then I can do some reading in the evening. Whatever works for you, but you need to find a rhythm. You've got to be consistent. Okay. Similarly with the weekly tasks, there's a set deadline. Make sure that you get it in and submit by the deadline. Finally, this is really important. Focus on the learning, not on your scores. The exam is hard, and so our questions are hard. But actually, a lot of our questions are at the hard end of the real exam, in that in the exam, there'll be some easy questions, some medium, some hard. We mostly use hard questions. Why? Because these questions aren't mock questions. You see, you're not sitting the exam. This is a learning program. If you do lots of easy questions and you get them all right, you get a false sense of security. You think, okay, I don't need to prepare much harder. I'm already good at these. I'm getting them all right. Whereas if you do lots of hard questions and you struggle with them, this links back to this, that you must believe that you can succeed. Then every time you get a question wrong, it's an opportunity to learn. If you've got a positive mindset, you think, okay, the fact that I've got this wrong, this means I'm covering the right topics. I'm covering topics I don't already know. If we do every question we do, you already get it right, we're giving you the wrong topics, because it means that we're covering either too easy topics or topics that you didn't really need to know because you already know it, okay? So most of you will get most of the question of the days wrong. Most of you will get poor scores in the daily questions, in some of the mocks, especially early on. That's okay. If you already were able to get 90% plus, you don't need to join a program. You'll be ready to sit the exam tomorrow. You're not. You've got lots of time. This is where you've got to have that faith that, look, I've joined something like this. I know it's hard work. I'm going to do the work because I know if I do, I'm going to succeed. Prepare and you will succeed, right? Okay. So that's really, really important, that we're going to do lots of hard questions, but that's because it's training. It's training you to deal with the hard questions in the exam, and the easy ones you'll walk. All right. So that's really important. If you get a question wrong, have an attitude that this is great. I'm covering the right things. That means I'm learning, and then learn from it. Rather than if you have a negative attitude, if you already put in your mind, I'm going to fail. Every time you get a question wrong, you go into a downward spiral. You think, oh, I knew I couldn't pass. This, I'm really struggling. That's just because you're looking at it the wrong way. If you're getting questions wrong, that's an opportunity to learn. It means we're giving you the right questions at the right level. All right. There's no benefit to you doing lots of really easy questions. You get it all right and you think, I don't need to do any work. I would much rather, and we will over-prepare you a little bit so that you pass comfortably, than that we just under-prepare and you miss it by a mark or two. Ultimately, our whole team is here to help you succeed. All right. And there's science behind this. All right. So those are the three big things. Mindset matters. Start with a positive attitude. Be consistent. Do your work on time. Okay. Keep up with your tasks and focus on your learning, not your scores. You'll get there in the end. By the end, you'll be ready. You'll be getting the good scores. Towards the beginning, up to the middle, even up until you get the last couple of weeks, you'll find that you're still getting a lot of questions wrong. That's an opportunity to learn. Okay. So that said, if anyone's got any questions, please ask them. Myself and the team will pick those up. For anyone that hasn't, I'll just summarize again with this, that welcome to the program. The whole team is really looking forward to working with you, supporting you, and helping you to succeed. And that, you've taken that first step now. We're here, okay? Very soon you're going to be up here. So thank you for joining us on this journey. We'll be with you every step of the way until you've climbed the mountain and you have succeeded. Prepare and you will succeed. Welcome to the program. Looking forward to working with all of you.